I never imagined a single question could shatter everything we built, everything I thought was shared. It wasn't shouted, and it wasn't thrown at me like an accusation. It came quietly, almost casually, as we sat across from each other at the kitchen table, the dim light flickering against his weary eyes. "How many?" Daniel asked. At first, I didn't understand. His voice was calm, but his hands were tight fists, knuckles pale against the wood. "How many what?" I whispered. He fixed me with a stare, jaw tightening. "How many men, Emily, before me?" The air in the room thickened, heavy with all that had gone unsaid. I'd always avoided this conversation. We both had. I believed the past belonged in the past, and Daniel never pushed, until now. I swallowed hard, heart racing. Part of me wanted to lie, to give a number that wouldn't hurt him or change how he saw me. But we promised honesty from the beginning. Brutal honesty. So I told him everything. The instant the words left my lips, I saw something break inside him. His face didn't twist in anger. He didn't yell. He just stayed, as if I were a stranger. A muscle twitched in his cheek. Then he stood. "I need some air," he said flatly. The front door closed behind him. I thought he'd come back. He didn't. Looking back, I should have noticed the cracks. Daniel had been distant, late nights at work, quiet dinners, scrolling his phone while I tried to talk. I blamed stress. We'd been married 3 years, together 5. Couples go through phases, right? Except this wasn't a phase. Something was gnawing at him, and I never asked what. Then that night, the question came, and my answer lit the fuse. I replayed it endlessly. Was it too much for him? Did he think I was someone else? Someone untouched? We met when I was 27. I'd had a life before him. Messy, yes. A few bad choices, yes. But I chose him. I loved him. Isn't that what mattered? The silence was suffocating. Daniel didn't come home that night or the next. He texted once, "Need time." I didn't know where he was. Hotel, a friend's couch, maybe his brother's place 2 towns away. 3 days later, a friend sent a photo, Daniel at a bar, not drunk, not reckless, just staring into nothing. I wanted to reach him, to explain that the past didn't erase what we built. But I sensed this wasn't about the number. When he returned, he didn't bring a suitcase, just a box. "I found these," he said, placing letters on the table. Old emails I'd forgotten, printed, highlighted, things I wrote in a toxic, chaotic fling. Things I wasn't proud of. "I didn't snoop," he said coldly. "Your email was open." Click. I couldn't stop. My chest tightened. This wasn't about my body count. It was about what those numbers meant to him, that I had lived, loved, perhaps degraded myself in ways he couldn't unsee. "You said you wanted honesty," I whispered. "I did," he said, voice trembling. "But not the full truth, Emily. You painted yourself as someone who made a few mistakes. You never told me about this." I looked at the letters, messy, desperate, raw, a version of me I buried long ago. "I'm not that person anymore," I said. "I chose you. I've been faithful. Doesn't that count?" His eyes softened for a moment, then hardened again. "It should. But I can't unknow what I know. The betrayal beneath it." That night, I realized something I wasn't ready for. Daniel had built a version of me in his mind. Flawed, yes, but not too flawed. When the truth clashed with his fantasy, he didn't know how to love the real me. "You hid the ugliest parts of your past," he said. "Now every time I look at you, I wonder, who else saw you the way I do? Who touched you? Who made you say those things?" I snapped, tears burning. "Do you think I care how many women you had before me? I don't, because I know who you are now." "But I do care," he whispered. And that was it. The leaving. He didn't storm out. That would have been easier. He stayed a few days, silent, distant, sleeping on the couch. I tried cooking his favorite meals, talking, reaching for his hand. He flinched each time. One morning, drawers closing, zippers. Where will you go? I asked, voice barely a whisper. I don't know, he said, avoiding my gaze. But I can't stay. Every time I close my eyes, I see them. All of them. Daniel, please, I begged. You're punishing me for something I can't change. I was honest. Isn't that what you wanted? He paused at the door. For a second, I thought he might turn. He didn't. He walked out, forever. Weeks passed. Friends took sides. Some called him insecure, others called me reckless. My mother said I should have lied. Some truths don't save marriages, they shatter them. I checked my phone every night. Nothing. Months later, I saw him once at a cafe. He looked lighter, thinner, older, but lighter. A woman laughed at something he said. Our eyes met. A polite nod. Nothing more. That night, I stared at the ceiling, wondering if he ever truly loved me, or the version of me he wanted to believe in. People say honesty is the foundation of love. I believed it. Still do, mostly. But honesty is a double-edged blade. It cuts both ways. Daniel asked a question he thought he could handle. I answered because I thought love meant never hiding. Somewhere between those beliefs, we lost each other. Would I change what I said? Maybe not. But I would have asked first. Do you really want to know? Or just the comfort of thinking you do? Sometimes, the truth isn't a bridge, it's a match. Once lit, all that remains is ashes. Daniel never came back. He moved to another city, started over. I stayed, relearning who I was without someone else's expectations. I still believe in love. I still believe in honesty. But now I ask more questions before I answer them. Because sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. It sets the other person free and leaves you standing in the wreckage, wondering what was ever.